So I realized how kind of late it was, so I just immediately just got off the journaling and just went to get my electrolytes and went to just straight to the car to head to the gym, because it is upper day and it is our day off, so it is vlog time. Just gonna show you my process, and as you saw by the title of the video, as you assume, I think I'm gonna title it like that. You know, it's not gonna be like such a hyped, you know, day. It's just gonna be the boring work, I guess you could say. So I mean, if you were looking for edits, sorry, there's no edits. It's gonna be a raw vlog, and I think this is the work that no one wants to show, or everyone is afraid to show. Just this thing will go back my cup holder, bro. Shit. I'm gonna spill this thing while driving. Hold on. But I have nothing to hide right now. So we're gonna go to the gym right now, and we're gonna plan to come back home and make our meal. I'm gonna show you my meal, because I found a really good meal plan for me to eat almost every day. I'm not gonna eat it every day because there's gonna be some days where I crave other things, but it's gonna be consisting of ground beef, eggs, turkey breast, and then some chicken and potato later. I'll show you guys exactly how much I eat, because I think it's a really great combination of nutrient dense meals and protein dense meals. So this thing, oh, that's why my lid is covering the cup holder. Hold on, don't do this at home or wherever you are. But I found a really good meal plan, you know, in the meantime right now. And I might change up my calories a bit, because I want to start putting on size later on. Like in a month or two, in a few months, I'm going to start putting on size. I'm currently 167. And so I'm just going to be eating a lot of the same things every day. And if you go to my Instagram, it kind of says otherwise, because I've been trying to show my meal, my cooking progress, like what I can be able to make, and that, you know, your diet doesn't have to be boring. And so I know a lot of people are like that. You can't have the same thing every single day. But for me, I can eat like a dog if I need to. If I really need to, I'll eat like a dog. Just eating almost the same thing every day. Because one, it still tastes good. You know, I don't need to have all this variety of foods. But two, you know, I'd rather have that mental clarity that, okay, this might be boring, but at least I know I'm getting all the macros I need and all the calories I need. So that's just currently where I'm at. And then, of course, with training to the hardest I can with this new upper lower split. I hope it's not too shaky when I edit this video. But yeah, we're doing an upper lower split. Currently 167 pounds at 5'10". You know, I think that's pretty good, right? I used to be really overweight, and it said I was overweight. So 167, they said it was and when I say they, I mean like calculators online. They say it's a healthy weight, 167. So we're gonna be doing this, just get some physical work in, because I feel like every time I hit the gym in the morning, it really helps with, you know, the rest of the day, because it's like, okay, I already got the main task done for my mental work and physical work, which is journaling, reading. Well, I'm still gonna read later, but journaling, reading, my morning push-ups, wake up, and the gym. Then I can focus on the rest of the day with, you know, my content, my coaching. I'm really just some stuff that's going on with the coaching I'm going to be putting out probably soon, I hope. But I just need to record some stuff for that, and it should be good. You know, I'm pretty excited for that, because it's actually, I'm building out a real product for everyone who I'm helping. And I love helping those who just need help with to physically change and mentally change, because I've overcame a lot of things. But I'm not gonna talk too much because I tend to just talk about whatever. And when I edit the video later, it's like so much stuff I have to edit out, or so much stuff I have to edit, just like make it shorter. But I'm gonna be in the gym. I'll see you in the gym right now. That's just the plan. Just doing a lot of the same things as I've been doing, especially on my days off, because I'd like to take advantage of these days. But yeah, I hope it's not. Yeah, I'll see you after the gym in like probably a few seconds. For me, it's gonna be like an hour and a half, but I think for you it's gonna be like 2 seconds. All right, workout is complete. So, and my watch died, but I didn't let that stop me from timing my rests, like I always say. I used my phone, so I was looking for my phone, but I'm holding it. But I was using my phone to time my rest because my watch died, and I like to time my rest now because it gives me like an adequate estimate to how long I'm resting for, you know? So I like to put like 2 minutes between sets, and especially since I'm doing upper and lower split. Upper days take longer because I have to do all the body parts on my upper body. Triceps, biceps, shoulders, chest. What else? Like, yeah, those main one, back, of course. And so those are the main ones I do. And then I like to time my rest because I have to do so many exercises. But it just fits with my schedule because 4 days a week I can really do. And then 3 days out of the week I'm either working or I'm hanging out with family. You know, I don't want to use all my family time just to the gym. So that's why I do 4 days a week. But I'm not gonna talk too much right now because I want to go home. I'm gonna cook a meal, ground beef, eggs, turkey breast. That's the game plan right now. I'll show you guys right now because I found, you know, I'm getting kind of used to all these vlog edits and, you know, camera setups and stuff. So I'm getting kind of used to it. So I'll show you guys what I'm cooking and I'll show you the final product. So we got the meal prep done, but I had to put in the thermal because I have to go pick up my mom. I didn't know she was dropping the car off so they can get fixed, and then she just called me right now to tell me, oh, I need to get picked up. So it sucks, but I mean, it just kind of, you know, ruins the flow of my day, but I don't mind it because it's my mom. I love her to death. I need to go pick her up right now. So that's why I think a thermal is super, super important in case you got to carry food anywhere. So we're going to go pick her up. I'm going to be vlogging again when I get back. Then I'll probably be showered by then. And then we're going to probably sit down and do some deep work. But I'm not exactly sure what's going to be the next scene. But I know that, you know, I need to go pick up my mom right now. I'm going to eat this on the way. And so I'll see you in the next scene, which will probably be for you in like 2 seconds. But it is what it is. I could let this bother me. I could let it bother me, but I'm not, because one, it's my mom, of course, but two, it's just this. It's just like a what do you call it? It's just trying a situation to throw me off. It's just a situation to try to throw me off, but I'm not gonna let it throw me off. I'm not gonna let it ruin my day, right? So we're gonna go right now, real quick, and I'll see you in the next scene. All right, guys. So we got back from doing all our stuff. We had to go pick up my mom, and then we went to I ate in the car as she drove because she wanted to go somewhere else real quick. Then so I'm back. I took a shower and made my coffee right here, and now I'm gonna do is a little bit of reading. I love to read right after I shower because I have some just like classical music playing when I shower, and then I just transition right over to reading, so that's not like a hard dopamine switch, right? Like if you notice, you go from like playing video games and then you try to do homework, it's very hard to do that, right? It's because your dopamine switch is like, it crashes essentially. It literally crashes because your dopamine's up here, and then you try to do something like more focused work, and then it just drops, right? So that's why I take a shower and then I just go straight to reading, because if I like go from my phone to try reading, it's super hard for me to focus. So there's this book I'm reading, Atomic Habits. It's about essentially just habits, right? Atomic meaning small, almost like microscopic, and then habits, of course, habits, something that can be repeatedly done, something that you do repeatedly, just repeatedly, essentially. And it's weird how this book has dialed in a different perspective into my day-to-day life, because I'll tell you a story. Yesterday, so let me give some background. So this is the book right here. I'm only like on chapter 5, but I've learned a lot already, because I've noticed there's 4 stages to a habit, right? Or the 4 stages to a behavior change, something like that. A cue, essentially what starts the habit, or like what spikes the interest. Craving, you want to do it, you're tempting, you're smelling it, like you're smelling the food, you're tempted to eat it. The response, which is essentially what you do, like essentially like you eat the food, or you go and I don't know, you go exercise, like the action itself, right? That's the response. And then the reward, the consequence. So it's not necessarily reward, it's essentially consequence to what you responded to, like how you responded, then what you got out of it, essentially the outcome, right? So let's say, like yesterday, I've been reading this book so much, and I've been noticing this stage of these 4 laws to behavior change really happens quickly. It happens in a split second every single day. For example, the cue to, let's say, waking up early. Waking up early. Let's say I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. So let's say the cue to waking up early is, well, I wrote it down somewhere. Fuck, I wrote it down. Because I essentially just like took notes on how this plays a role into everyday life. If I remember right, there it is. So I have an example right here. So the cue, the alarm goes off, right? That's the cue. The alarm goes off. And then what are you craving after the alarm goes off? You crave silence. You crave the alarm to turn off, because you don't want the alarm to be beeping all over the place at 5 in the morning, especially when you have family around. You don't want to be the alarm to just sound all over. So the cue, the alarm goes off. The craving is no more noise. You're craving no more noise. You're craving to turn off the alarm, right? And then response, you turn off the alarm, right? But this is, put your alarm, again, this is a side note, put your alarm far away from where you sleep, because that's going to really help you just get up, and then you're going to be awake as soon as you get up. And if you go back to sleep after your alarm goes off and you turn it off, then there's no fixing that. You just have to, like, you're just not developed enough or disciplined enough to actually get up and not go back to bed. So essentially that's the response. Cue, alarm goes off. Craving, no more noise. You're craving no more noise. You want that alarm to turn off. So you get up and you turn off the alarm. And now the reward is that you're awake now. The alarm is off and you're awake. You're actually awake and you're standing up and you're not going back to bed. Because if you have the alarm right next to you, you can just easily just turn it off right there and just stay in bed. But an example was that, not an example, but what this book talks about is that once you start building habits that are aligned with your future self and that are aligned with your goals, and you actually consciously see what habits you do, you're going to want to change the bad ones and turn into good ones, right? So essentially, let's say for me, I want to be big, shredded, muscular with abs and stuff like that, right? What does that person do? What is his habits? He probably, probably stay disciplined, wakes up early, tracks his macros, all that stuff, hits his workout even when he doesn't feel like it. He let's say he has confidence. He has really high confidence. So what does he do to get confident? Well, confidence comes from competence, which you can get competence from just actually doing actions. You can get confidence from actually getting evidence of taking action. You're hitting the gym, you're hitting your macros, you're doing all these things that are going to be all these habits that align with that future self of mine, which is big, muscular, confident, and just well-rounded in life. I was in the drive-thru yesterday. This is a very like odd switch, but after work yesterday, I get off of work at like 9 o'clock, and it's super late. I'm tired. Sometimes I'm even hungry because I don't want to eat too late. I was off work and I went to the Wendy's drive-thru. Okay. I was craving this grilled chicken sandwich and the Parmesan Caesar salad. I had never tried those things, but I've been making all these food videos on my Instagram that I was like kind of looking for fast food places that can have high protein, low fat alternatives in case you can't have whole foods all the damn time. So I went to go to the drive-thru and I felt so out of place. I felt super out of place because it was like after reading this book, just after reading this, well, it's inverted, but after reading this book, I'm like, I turned the subconscious thinking into conscious thinking. My subconscious was telling me, go to the drive-thru, order your food, eat the food, and, indulge. But now after reading this book, I was like just getting conscious of every single thing that I do now. And so I was consciously thinking, I'm in the drive-thru of a Wendy's. Normal cars around here, not a single confident, big, shredded man in sight. Obviously, it's 9 o'clock at night. It's a Wendy's drive-thru. Of course, there's not going to be any of those. Except me. I'm not big. I'm just defined and muscular, right? I have all these habits that align with my goals. So when I went to the drive-thru, I was just looking around. I was consciously looking around. Am I really that hungry to have to order a grilled chicken wrap and a Parmesan Caesar salad at Wendy's at 9 o'clock at night? Not really. Does that align with the person who I want to be? Do I really want to be? Now, you can say that I'm overthinking all this and say, "Oh, just do it one time and just don't do it again." But you don't get it. That once you set a habit of like, oh, you're eating your foods. I was eating my meals. I'm eating my macros. I'm tracking my foods. I'm hitting my workouts. I'm aligning every habit with who I want to become in the future. Once you try to like do a bad habit that you've once done, it's super hard to go back to it because you're just like, it's so unaligned with your habits or the habits that your future self is gonna have that it's just like, it feels so weird. So you know what I did? I got out the drive-thru because I felt super weird. I'm serious. I have a Snapchat video of me talking about this last night. It's super weird. And so I was like, I had my macros. My macros are precise today. They're so precise today. Why am I gonna fuck it up with the Wendy's grilled chicken sandwich, or not sandwich, grilled chicken wrap and a Caesar salad? My macros are perfect today. Why am I gonna mess this up? Just because I want to indulge a little bit? Just because I'm making an excuse to like, oh, you're doing so well, you deserve this. That's literally what my mind was thinking. I was making the unconscious thinking conscious, right? And if you read this book, it'll make a lot more sense. I promise you, it's gonna make a lot more sense once you read this. But it just like made this mindset shift of like, I can't even go back to the normal habits that I used to have. The normal habits meaning the bad habits of me like doing all this degenerate stuff, eating all this fast food, not taking care of my face, not working out, not taking care of my body. It's like I can't imagine a life with that anymore. Like I've totally killed that person of me. That old version of me, I totally killed him. Right? And it's not to say that I'm gonna be perfect and I'm gonna be like a magical angel and just do nothing or do everything perfect for the rest of my life. I'm just saying that this is now the new life I must live based on the person I want to become. I have to align with all my habits in order to get to that person. Because you're not just going to wait for your future self and just say, boom, I'm just a new version. No. You have to align everything now to who you want to become. And this book has really talked about it so much that I'm not even halfway through it yet. I'm not even halfway. And it's like caused this like mental shift in my mind. I'm gonna put this watch on. This mental shift in my mind where I can't even go back to the old habits I had. It's super weird. I'm telling you, man, this book, I'm not saying that this book is gonna change your life. I'm not saying that because you have to implement it. You have to actually apply it. You can't just read it and expect your life to just change, right? But even with any book, your life is not gonna change dramatically, even if you apply it, right? But you can have that mindset shift that can change the trajectory to where your life is going, even if it's a small angle. Think of it as like an asteroid. Let's say the asteroid is like millions of miles away, right? The best moment to change the trajectory of an asteroid, if it's going towards Earth, is when it's the farthest it is, when it's so far away from the Earth, right? So the best way to change your habits is to do it now before they get more ingrained in yourself and you can't change in the future. Because let's say
you change the trajectory of an asteroid by like a quarter of an inch when it's millions and millions of miles away. That quarter of an inch can make all the difference to where that asteroid tends to end up and not hit the Earth. But it's only when it's super far away. If you try to change your habits too late, it's going to be too late because you're already ending the year of your life and you're not going to be able to change it because you've already ingrained all these bad habits to the person who you are now. So the sooner you can change this, especially if you're young, the sooner you change it, your trajectory of your life, it may not shift automatically like tomorrow or in a week, but when in 10 years, you're going to be in a totally different place. If you just change the smallest habits today, that small degree changes where you end up in a long time period. It may not be a big difference now, but the more the time goes, you're going to be in a totally different place. That's the beauty of this like little shift that you can make as soon as possible. So I encourage you, not even just read this book, but read other books too, to cause this mental shift where your old habits are so like you can't even stand them anymore. You can't even stand them anymore. And now you're only aligned with the habits that are good for you to now you ask yourself before you even do something. Now you're conscious about it. Before you even do something, you're like, does this align with the person I want to be? Does this align? Is this gonna benefit me or is it gonna make me worse? Ask yourself that. So essentially just keep no matter how small the changes, make the smallest changes as soon as you can. As soon as you can, because the sooner you do it, the sooner you change your habits, the much like you're gonna just change the trajectory to where you are in life in just a matter of like 5, 10, 20 years. You know, the longer that it is, the more better it's gonna be. So give yourself time to change your habits now by doing it now. I don't care how old you are, but this just mindset shift of, okay, if I change it now, I will be in a totally different place in the future if I do it as soon as possible and I ask myself before I make a decision, does this align with my goals? Literally, that's why I got out the Wendy's drive-thru, because it was like, oh, am I going to be in the Wendy's drive-thru? It was like literally years down the future, maybe a couple times. But it's not going to be, I don't want it to make it a regular habit, because once you do it once, it's so much easier to do it again. So much easier. And that's why I'm super cautious with everything that I do and the time that I give to my habits, because I know my future self is going to be wanting to journal, reading the declarations. Sooner or later, I want to start reading actually the Bible, because I want to because it's so confusing. But I know that I must just conquer that confusion in order to understand it, and just ask the God to bless me with the knowledge to understand His scriptures, right? Journal, Bible, pray, working out, Whole Foods, confident, all these different things. You have to align your habits with that type of person. Not even that type of person, but the person you want to be. Not just my description, your description of who you want to be. Okay? Change your habits now, as soon as you can. But yeah, that's essentially the summarization that I've learned so far from this book. And so I know I kind of went just on a rant there, but I just want to explain exactly what I've learned so far. And then later on, if I learn more, I'll just tell it on camera, just show you guys exactly what I learned more of. So we're going to be reading this. I showered reading this, and I'm pretty much in the flow state already. I haven't been on the phone too much. I've been recording myself. We're going to be reading this, and we're going to do some deep work on some coaching programs, because that's been something that I've been really wanting to prioritize. My social media has been like just kind of repetitive lately because of just this one thing. I want to prioritize this first. And then on social media, when I have time today, then I'll go on that, because it's my day off today. And tomorrow also, but I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow with my family, because now school's out. My brothers are going to be home now. So that's going to be a little bit hard to record stuff. You know, like you kind of feel weird when you record in front of your family. So that's why I'm in my room right now. Essentially, I'm going to be doing that, focus on the deep work. And then later, going to be doing some just walking, because I've been neglecting my steps a little bit, again, because of the coaching programs. I want to be able to just dial this down, and then, you know, later on, I'll do my content. But that's essentially what my plan is for today. It's going to be a lot of just, you know, reading, working, you know, just the boring stuff, but the boring stuff is the best things to do because they're going to be the ones that are most aligned with what you have to they're going to be the ones. The boring stuff is going to be aligned with, you know, the person that you want to become. The one who can do the boring stuff the longest essentially wins because they know that they have to do the work that they don't want to do, and that's boring to do. But it's essentially what I want to do right now because I have the time, and with work, I now understand the value of time because I work long hours, and so when I get home, I'm kind of sleepy and stuff. So I stay up to like 12 to finish my nightly planning and stuff. So I don't want to go into too much of a tangent here, but yeah, we're gonna be doing this for a couple hours. Then we're gonna be eating another meal. I have another meal planned. I'll be showing another montage of that if I've already showed the montage of earlier. So it's gonna be another one of that. But I'll see you in a couple hours. But for you, it's gonna be like, again, 2 seconds. But I'll see you in a couple hours. I'm gonna focus on this, and you know, just a lot of boring work today, right? This is just a vlog of what I'm currently doing, because not necessarily I don't want to vlog when my life is like always fun, like sporadic and stuff. No, this is essentially what it is that I'm doing. So I'll see you guys in just a couple seconds. So that was such a great meal to have, especially after like 2 to 3 hours of just deep work for another YouTube video. But then now we're gonna go pick up the car. As earlier, as you saw, we had to drop off the car because it wasn't working properly again. So we're gonna go pick it up right now, and I'm gonna come back home, and I'm gonna do some more deep work. You know, I'm not gonna really do my steps too much today. I'm just gonna get 10,000, and then we're gonna just do some more deep work. Because tomorrow, I'm not sure what the plan is exactly. I'm assuming I'm hanging out with my family for the whole day. So I want to get as much done the night before, do some nightly planning, do my routine the night before, and then just wake up 5 a.m. Of course, no matter what day it is, 5 a.m. every single day. But that's essentially what the vlog is today, just what it was today. I'm not faking anything. This is just how it is. I'm going to be working on a lot of more stuff on my computer. I'm going to get 10,000 steps. Had my macros. You know, I still have a yogurt to eat, but I'm not going to show it right now because I'm just going to end it right here. And we're going to go pick up the car. And tomorrow we wake up 5 a.m. Of course, you know, I'm just trying to be consistent with these vlogs too. If they're not the best edited or best, like, you know, fun-ish, it's just literally the boring things that make up the success that you want in the future, you know? And success is very subjective. You know, what might be successful to me might be not successful to you. You know, it's very subjective. But no matter what kind of success it is, the boring stuff really adds up over time. And people think it's going to be all about just, oh, new things, new things, new things. No, it's like macros. You might want to eat the same things every single day in order to be very optimal to hit your macros. Like, if you hit your macros one day, why don't you just copy it next day, next day, next day? I mean, you don't have to have it different every single day. So the boring stuff is really what can compound and elevate you to the next level to get closer to success with whatever your success definition is. So that's essentially what I'm doing, and getting better with these vlogs and these recordings, and, you know, still, you know, trying to just be consistent with the content. But that's going to wrap it up because, I mean, when I get back home, it's just going to be more deep work, and you guys don't want to see that right now. But that's going to be a quick little vlog. If you're here still, I appreciate you for watching. But if you're not, then it's all good because these videos are quite boring. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video though.